Hello to everyone. This is Guenther Steiner. This is Speed City.
Welcome back to the fastest hour in radio, Speed City.
All right, welcome back. Hey, we're going to talk a lot about Formula One today. I didn't really go run down what we're going to talk about because I'm going to talk about, of course, McLaren firing their technical director, James Key. I'm going to talk about what the heck's going on with Ferrari, some Red Bull dominance. And I'm going to go a little fanboy on Logan Sargent. And we've got some clips. We got a clip from Leclerc, one from Logan Sargent. So we're going to talk about that later in the show. But like I said right before the break, I got to see Guenther Steiner. Man, it was really great to see him in person. And he was out there doing the television for NASCAR. And I caught up with him for just a couple of minutes here right before he went on the air. So let's hear from Guenther Steiner. All right, we're out at Circuit of the Americas for the NASCAR event, and I ran into an old friend, Guenther Steiner. Mr. Steiner, how are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for asking.
Welcome to Austin again.
Yeah, always happy to come here, and hope you're doing well and everybody's doing well here. But I'm a little bit early this year, I guess. So, I just got the date wrong.
So you're doing NASCAR TV, my friend. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'm a guest speaker, just to get a little bit of comparison with F1 in, I guess. They asked me, and I like to come here, so I have the whole family here, and we have a weekend out.
That's fantastic. You got the family with you, too?
Yeah, as well. Yeah, they came with me because I'm going straight from here. Not straight from here. I go first to Los Angeles, but then to Melbourne, where we race next weekend.
That's great. Well, I had the same experience. Everybody's asking me, how does this compare to F1? They were going on. And I said, it's completely different, but absolutely fun and fantastic.
Absolutely. And as you say, people or normally ask, is it better, is it worse? There is no better or worse. It's just different. It's I like because of NASCAR. And if I wouldn't have come here, I think Haas F1 wouldn't exist. So, I think, and I've got a lot of friends in NASCAR. So when they asked me, it was not like, I didn't have to think a long time about it, And it's quite good fun with Clint and Kurt Busch in the studio. They are quite outspoken as well, so I hope we have got fun.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like me about when I was walking by the NASCAR, the cars themselves, I was drawn in, taking photos, looking at the brake calipers, looking at the diffusers. I know you're probably the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like I have difficulty. I haven't got the time to go real in there. I saw Kimi yesterday briefly. He's a friend, And I saw Jensen actually 10 days ago when he was in Charlotte, taking his pictures and making the announcement. But I didn't have a lot of time to go and see the cars. And I think now it's getting too late because they are getting ready to go out there. So, but obviously yesterday when I got here, I had a quick peek into the garage. But as you say, I like every kind of racing car.
Well, thank you very much. And by the way, thank you for giving Chris Medlin so much time when we're on the radio, so we appreciate it.
No problem. You're welcome.
All right, well, have fun. Have fun with your family.
Thank you very much. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Man, what a nice guy. He is, in person, is just as nice. And you know what? Think about it, guys. He's given us time. And why would he give just us little Speed City time? But I actually heard through the grapevine, I think it was Stu, his PR guy. He said, no, actually, it was through Dave O'Neill, who used to work for Guenther, right? Who's on the air with us occasionally, a former team manager for Haas. He told me that Guenther said that, he's loyal. And we were there. We were interviewing him before Drive to Survive made him a worldwide superstar. And so it's really cool that he respects that part. But anyway, it was fun. And he did a good job on television. I wrote in my notes there was some fun, like Clint Boyer was having fun with him. He said, there was one time one of the cars crashed and he went to Guenther and he said something like, well, what do you tell him at that point? And Guenther was saying something about, just I wait till they get in after the race. But Clint Boyer said, is that the point where you have to call Gene on that show? He was like, he didn't want to talk about Drive to Survive. So that was pretty funny. I'm sure every motorsports series that's not Formula One, that's kind of a Voldemort name that shall not be mentioned. I saw Jesse on YouTube says he was out there today at NASCAR. He said he went to see Kimi. Said it was a great time, good weather, free parking, tons of space. Got great Kimi merch he wasn't expecting. That's cool. That's great, Jesse. You're here in Austin, obviously. But yeah, it was good to hear from him, and I liked what Guenther said about that Haas F1 wouldn't exist without him. And if y'all know that story, and I didn't research it today, but if I remember correctly, Guenther he lives in North Carolina and has lived there for a long time, but he moved here to get involved in NASCAR. And in some conversation with Gene, he ran the idea behind it, Gene Haas, to do a Formula One team. And that was the genesis for the Haas F1 team. And that Guenther Steiner was the one that came up with the idea. So we can thank him for having Haas F1. Yeah, it's cool that he was headed straight to Melbourne from here. I guess his family's going back home, and he's headed out to Melbourne from here. And yeah, speaking of that, we got our coverage, man. We're going to be late night, Casey. I'm looking at you, producer. We're going to be live on the air at 11 p.m. Saturday night, because Friday night we have a new show that we do, a post-qualifying show. But Casey, you're learning this for the first time. We are not going to do the post-qualifying show this weekend. We're not going to do it. We have a new sponsor for that show coming on board pretty soon, but they're not on board yet. And so everybody at the national radio deal said, "Are you sure you guys want to do it?" I said, "If y'all don't want to do it, I don't want to do it." So anyway, we're going to do our regular show, our regular pre and post on Saturday night, Sunday morning for Melbourne. So I'm looking forward to it. I still have fun. I'll never forget that time Bob Varsha and I were on. It was like 3 a.m, and I looked down, and we had our biggest audience on YouTube. We had like 2,000 people watching live on YouTube at 3 a.m. I was like, what country are all these people coming from? I meant to go back and
What the hell have we gotten into here?
I wanted to see the analytics, see what country people were watching from. But all right, hey boys, let's talk some Formula One.